welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So Mother's Day is right around the corner, and to honor the special moms out there, I'm bringing to you a really simple and delicious recipe to make for her early in the morning to serve her with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. I'm going to teach you how to make my blueberry muffins. They really taste like little blueberry cakes, but since they don't have icing, let's just go ahead and call them a muffin. Instead of icing, they have streusel, which in my opinion is even better. This is so easy to make, so let's go over the ingredients and then we're going to get started. For the actual cake mix or cake batter, you're going to need all-purpose flour, baking powder, and salt. Then we're going to need some pure vanilla extract, lemon zest, 2 eggs, whole milk, sugar, and unsalted butter. And then of course we're going to need some blueberries with a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and we're just going to mix them all up so that way when we add them to the batter later on they don't sink to the bottom. And for the streusel topping, again, we need some unsalted butter cut in cubes, and you want it to be really nice and cold. Then we have some all-purpose flour, sugar, cinnamon, and salt. Now let's get started making the batter. So I'm using a tabletop mixer, but you can definitely do this by hand with a hand mixer. So in my mixer I have unsalted butter that is softened at room temperature, and now I'm going to add the sugar and the vanilla extract, and I'm going to whisk it on high speed until everything is combined and nice and fluffy. Once everything is all incorporated and it gets nice and thick and fluffy, we're going to add our whole milk and our 2 eggs, and then we're going to whisk it up again on high speed until everything is nice and combined. Anytime you're making a cake, you want to go in there every now and then with a spatula and scrape down the sides of the bowl, because things tend to get stuck over there and then they don't mix in smoothly. So do that and then whisk it on high speed again. So it's going to look curdled and kind of broken up a bit. Don't worry about it. As soon as we add the flour to this, it'll come together really nicely. Now we're just going to zest our lemon into our flour mixture. So you want the zest of a whole lemon. And we're just going to zest it and mix this all together. So we're just going to add the flour in, maybe like 2 to 3 batches at a time, just until it comes together. You don't want to overmix this. So you're going to notice that there is some flour still at the bottom. We're just going to mix that in carefully while we are folding in our blueberries. So we're just going to add the blueberries now and just give it a nice mix with our spatula until all of them are incorporated. And it's going to look like there are a lot of blueberries in here, and there surely are, because this is a blueberry cake. And that is how it's supposed to be. If you want to put less, go right ahead, but I like mine to be loaded with these blueberries. Perfect, just like that. Now our batter is ready. We're going to move on to mixing our streusel together. So just whisk all of the dry ingredients together with a fork. Then we're going to just put all of our chopped up cubed butter in. And with the fork, we're just going to go in. You could do this with your fingers too. Just mash it all in until the butter is coated with the flour and you still have little pieces of butter in. You don't want to melt it completely. And I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it's ready. So our streusel topping is ready. This is what it should look like. It takes a little while to do with a fork. If you get a little bit impatient, go ahead and you can crumble it with your fingertips. That's fine too. But this is done. Now you want to make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's about 180 Celsius, but I'll put it in the recipe description. So line it with some paper cups, and then if you have a little mini ice cream scoop, go ahead and use that. We're going to fill them 3/4 of the way full. If not, go ahead and use a 1/4 cup measuring cup to do this, but it's much easier with an ice cream scoop. If you have one, go ahead and use one. So you're basically going to be putting, if you're using the small little ice cream scoop like this, about 1.5 scoopfuls of it. If not, it's going to be a 1/4 cup. So then we're going to go in with our streusel, and we're going to take a heaping tablespoonful, and we're going to go ahead and put it on top, and whatever's left over, we're gonna go in and distribute it evenly at the end of this, because let's just tell it like it is. The streusel part is the best part of any little coffee. So this recipe makes 17 delicious muffins. You're gonna need 2 trays, and you're gonna also wanna make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure that the rack is in the center of the oven so they cook evenly. I like to bake these 1 tray at a time, so each tray takes about 20 minutes to bake. It usually always takes 20 minutes to bake, but every oven bakes differently. So at the 20-minute mark, you want to go in with a toothpick and check and make sure that it comes out clean and there's no batter attached. Then once that's done, go ahead and put in the second tray and do the same thing. Bake it for 20 minutes and you'll have delicious cupcakes in no time. Not cupcakes, you'll have delicious muffins in no time. I'm gonna bake them and then I'm gonna show you what they look like as soon as they're ready. So each time I made this recipe, it took exactly 20 minutes. If your oven is like mine, it'll take 20 minutes. Otherwise, check it at the like 18, 19 minute point, and it might take a few extra minutes for your oven, but go ahead, stick a toothpick in there, and if it comes out clean without any batter attached to it, then it's ready. If there are little crumbs attached to it, that's good. Just take it out. Do not overcook these. They're moist, they're delicious. They are the perfect treat to serve your mom on Mother's Day, even if you're just gonna make this one thing. Make her a perfect cup of coffee or a really nice perfect cup of tea. Both recipes, along with this one, are in my new ebook, so you're gonna wanna check it out if you haven't. It's available on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. This recipe will be posted on my website, but in my book, it's loaded with tips and tricks and with many more recipes that you can serve to mom. But let's cut into this so that way we can take a look at just how moist and perfect it is. Once it comes out of the oven, you're gonna wanna let it cool for a little bit. So let it sit in the muffin tin for like 5 minutes, then take it out and put it on a platter or on a cooling tray and serve it room temperature or warm. You can make this the day before. Check out the blog for more tips. Let's cut into this baby so I can show you what it looks like on the inside. Take a look, you guys. Let me not let this fork fall down. Look at the blueberry goodness that's in here. This time of year, blueberries are everywhere here in Houston, so I like to make lots of things with blueberries. The streusel topping is just perfect. It's just moist. You just want to make it. I love it. It's not too sweet. It's almost creamy. You get the crunch from the streusel on top. Go ahead, get the recipe on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Get the ebook. I'll have both links in the description box down below. Let me know in the comment section what you think and what else you want to learn how to make, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.